This is a bit of an odd video for me to return with, because this wasn't supposed to be the video I was gonna make. I was just gonna do a normal Splatfest video like I did last time, but I wasn't able to get any good footage at all. So at the time of recording this, the spicy versus sweet versus sour Splatfest was a couple days ago. I have a few things I want to say about it. I know this video probably won't get any views like all my other videos, but I don't care. This is something I need to make, or I won't be able to sleep at night. Note that these are based off of my experiences, so you may have different thoughts. So here's the problem with Splatfests in Splatoon 3. So the first of many problems with Splatfests in Splatoon 3 is with the themes. So far, all of the Splatfests in this game are just generally less interesting than they were in the previous games. But that's not really the main problem. The main problem is really with the distribution. With every Splatfest so far, there's always been a team that is obviously a best or worst option, sometimes even both. This leads to one team having a way higher popularity, and if you happen to choose that team, get ready for match after match after match of just mirror battles. After you've fought your own team 5 times in a row, it gets really boring, and if you chose the least popular team, good luck trying to find teammates to play with. This doesn't really affect solo queue that much, but if you want to play with other people in a Discord call, it can be difficult trying to find someone who's on the same team as you. The only Splatfest so far that hasn't had this problem was the Pokemon Splatfest. All 3 of the teams were very equal. There wasn't a best and a worst option. I believe this is one of the many reasons why it was the only good one we've had in 3 so far. They need to put more thought into each of the teams. There can't be a clearly best and worst option. If they could fix this, I think it would help out a lot. That last point isn't a super big problem, but where I have the majority of the problems is with Tricolor, yeah. The idea of Tricolor is really good, but there's some issues with it. The biggest issue being the maps. Plain and simple, they're not good. The maps either heavily favor the attacking team, defending team, or are just not fun to play on in the slightest. The only Splatfest to not have this problem was the Pokemon Splatfest. Forcing these normal stages to be Tricolor stages just doesn't work. These maps weren't designed with it in mind. Sturgeon did eventually work, but that was after they already tried it and it didn't work. They made a bunch of changes to it, but they should have been there the first time the map was used, not the second. Splatfests in Splatoon 2 were perfect, and the one major thing that I think helped with that was the shifty stations. Each Splatfest had its own custom shifty station. This was great. It allowed each Splatfest to feel unique and had it so every time there was a Splatfest, you would have a new stage to play on. And these stages were different than the normal stages. They had custom things and stuff like that you don't normally find in normal stages, like things from the single player. Instead of shifty stations, we have Tricolor in Splatoon 3. Tri was cool the first few times, but I don't know if the trade-off was entirely worth it. What Splatoon 3 needs for its Splatfest is custom Tri stages in the style of shifty stations. So we get the best of both, a Tri stage that works, and a new stage for every Splatfest. I think this would help a lot. So this next section isn't just one change, it's more multiple things, smaller things. So in the most recent Splatfest, you could be on either the attacking or defending team, regardless of what the halftime results were. This kinda takes away the weight that these matches had. Whatever team was leading at halftime would have to defend their first place spot from the other teams. That was pretty cool. It's kinda hard to explain, but Try doesn't feel important anymore now that that is gone. making it so that you can be on either side. This change is an example of Nintendo trying to find workarounds for problems instead of actually trying to fix them. They're like, oh, it doesn't matter if one side has an advantage, just make it so they can be on either side, that'll fix it. Well, yes, it works as a fix. It creates new problems that never existed before. People complained they didn't get enough tricolor matches, so they made it guaranteed. So, yeah, now you're guaranteed to get a tricolor match if you queue for one. This leads to almost every single match being a mirror on top of a stage that isn't fun and doesn't work well for Tri, just makes it a horrible experience. I would rather queue for Tri and get normal turf war matches against another team than get Tri and have it be a mirror every single time. So you still play the same amount of Tri against the other teams, just the games in between don't mean anything. Another problem that this change creates is that in previous Splatfest, if you were defending at halftime, you could get in a lobby with 3 other people and all defend together. This was great, some of the most fun I've ever had playing the game. But now that you can be attacker even if you're winning at halftime, it forces you to have a maximum party of 2, meaning you can't have the entire defending team communicating together, forcing the team to be split in at least 2. It was fine the way it was before. Yes, people may complain that they don't get the side that they want. They'll get over it. If they keep playing, they'll eventually get the side they want to be on. Everything worked fine in the Pokemon Splatfest, and I don't see why they changed it. I want Splatfests to be great, like they were in 2, but they're just not hitting the mark. All they need is better themes, custom Tri stages, and to get rid of the dumb changes that they make to Tri, and Splatfest in 3 would be perfect, maybe even better than they were in 2. This video was a little different than the ones I made before. I don't think it's going to be a one-time thing. I'm back, and I'm no longer aiming for 2 videos a week, which I never actually met. I'm gonna take more time with each video and planning on doing some stuff that is non-Splatoon related. So that's it. Subscribe, I guess. I don't know how to end videos.